At 54 qubits, they opened a molecule, and they could measure it here, observing it in like Silicon Valley or wherever this is. And then they opened the same one. It appeared in London, and they verified that the changes they made in Silicon Valley were happening it's the same molecule, and it was happening at the same time someplace else.
What if the world you're living in right now isn't the only one? What if, in this very moment, another version of you is making a different choice, living a different life, completely unaware of your existence? For decades, parallel universes have been nothing more than a mind-bending theory, the stuff of science fiction and quantum speculation. But that may have just changed. A recent quantum computing experiment has uncovered something so bizarre, so unexplainable, that some scientists believe it may be the first real evidence of information leaking between dimensions. An anomaly was detected, one that defies the known laws of physics. And if this discovery holds up, it could completely reshape our understanding of reality itself. Did researchers just stumble upon the first real parallel universe shifter? Could this explain some of the strangest mysteries of our existence, including the possibility that we've been unknowingly slipping between alternate realities all along? Before we dive into the shocking details of what was discovered, we first need to understand why quantum computing might be the key to unlocking the multiverse. Quantum computers, the gateway to other realities? Quantum mechanics has long hinted at a reality far stranger than we ever imagined, one where particles don't exist in just one state, but in many at the same time. And quantum computers, with their ability to process these bizarre interactions, might be the first tool powerful enough to uncover what's really happening beneath the surface of our reality. At the core of this idea is something called the many worlds interpretation, a radical theory suggesting that every time a quantum event occurs, the universe splits into multiple timelines. In one, an event happens. In another, the opposite does. And in yet another, something completely different unfolds. Right now, there could be countless versions of you, making different choices, leading entirely different lives in realities just beyond our reach. It sounds like pure science fiction, but here's the shocking part. It's a concept that emerges directly from the mathematics of quantum mechanics. And a new quantum experiment may have just captured the first real evidence that these parallel worlds aren't just hypothetical. The experiment that changed everything. To understand why this discovery is so groundbreaking, we need to look at three key quantum phenomena. Superposition, where quantum particles exist in multiple states at once until they're observed. This is what allows quantum computers to process unimaginable amounts of data. Quantum tunneling, a bizarre effect where particles can vanish and reappear on the other side of a barrier, as if reality itself is fluid. Quantum entanglement, the infamous spooky action at a distance, where two particles remain instantaneously connected, no matter how far apart they are. The experiment in question involved running standard quantum gate interactions, a routine process in quantum computing. But then, something happened that no one expected. Instead of following known laws of physics, certain quantum states began fluctuating unpredictably. But these weren't just random fluctuations, they followed a distinct pattern. At first, scientists assumed it was a glitch, a malfunction in the system. But repeated experiments showed the same eerie result. Some researchers now believe this could be the first ever tangible sign of quantum interference from another universe, as if information was bleeding between dimensions. If this holds up, it could mean that quantum computers are interacting with realities beyond our own, realities that may be shaping our world in ways we don't yet understand. Are we already experiencing dimensional shifts? Here's where things get even stranger. If quantum particles can be influenced by other realities, could it be possible that we are experiencing subtle shifts between alternate versions of our world without even realizing it? Some scientists have begun connecting this idea to a long-debated mystery known as the Mandela effect, the eerie phenomenon where large groups of people remember historical facts, brand logos, or movie lines differently than what exists in recorded history. Could these strange discrepancies be the result of tiny quantum fluctuations between dimensions? Could we be slipping between parallel timelines without noticing, except for subtle changes in details we can't quite explain? As if that wasn't strange enough, the most shocking part of this discovery is that the anomaly researchers detected wasn't just a one-time occurrence. It repeated itself over and over, suggesting an underlying structure to what should have been random fluctuations, a pattern. One that could be the key to proving that parallel universes don't just exist, but that they might be directly interacting with our own. If this is true, it changes everything. So what happens next? Scientists are now racing to verify whether this is a genuine discovery or an unexplained quirk in the experiment. But if it's real, it could mean that the barriers between dimensions aren't as solid as we once thought. And if that's the case, what else might be slipping through? What if the reality we know isn't the only one? What if, right now, quantum computers are tapping into something far beyond our understanding, something that defies the very fabric of physics? A recent quantum computing experiment has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. At first, researchers thought it was just a random glitch, an error in the system, but it wasn't. This anomaly followed a pattern, one that shouldn't exist within the known laws of physics. And now, some scientists believe they may have just recorded the first real evidence of quantum interference from another universe. The experiment that changed everything. This groundbreaking discovery took place during routine quantum computing tests conducted by researchers at CERN and Google's Quantum AI lab. They were refining quantum gate interactions, a standard procedure meant to optimize computations. But in the middle of their tests, something completely unexpected happened. The quantum computer registered an anomaly, a fluctuation in the quantum states that wasn't supposed to be there. At first, they suspected hardware failure, maybe even interference from external noise. But after extensive testing, eliminating every possible variable, the anomaly remained. And that's when things got even stranger. This wasn't just random noise. It was a structured pattern, behaving in a way that suggested something beyond ordinary quantum fluctuations. It was as if information was appearing from an unknown source, emerging out of nowhere. This wasn't normal. This wasn't expected. Some researchers believe this could be the first sign of information leaking between dimensions. Could parallel universes be real? For decades, physicists have debated the existence of parallel universes, alternate realities that may exist alongside our own, following the strange rules of quantum mechanics. One theory, known as the many worlds interpretation, suggests that every quantum event creates multiple versions of reality. Every decision, every interaction, every movement branches into a new timeline, forming an infinite number of possible universes. Until now, this concept has remained purely theoretical. But what if this experiment just changed everything? If this anomaly is what some scientists suspect, a parallel universe shifter, it could mean that quantum computers have, for the first time, recorded tangible evidence of information crossing between dimensions. Skepticism versus scientific revolution. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Some argue that this could simply be an undiscovered quirk of quantum mechanics, a phenomenon we just don't fully understand yet. But if quantum computers are detecting and reacting to information beyond their own computational limits, it raises a far more profound question. Could parallel realities not only exist, but be directly interacting with our own? Some physicists are even proposing a radical new idea, that these alternate universes aren't truly separate and unreachable, but instead exist in a kind of quantum superposition, occasionally overlapping with our reality. And if that's true, what scientists have just detected might not be an accident. It could be a fundamental aspect of the universe itself, a hidden layer of reality we've never been able to measure before. The implications are staggering. If quantum computers can detect anomalies like this, what else could they be capable of? Could we one day develop technology that maps interactions between parallel worlds? Could we eventually understand whether information, energy, or even matter can transfer between realities? And if that's possible, the biggest question remains: Could we one day learn to control it? While these ideas sound like science fiction, they are now being seriously considered by some of the world's leading physicists. Brian Cox predicted this would happen. But here's where it gets even crazier. Long before this experiment, some of the most respected minds in physics predicted that something exactly like this could happen. One of them is Brian Cox, a leading expert in quantum mechanics, who has long suggested that if parallel universes exist, quantum computers might be the first tools capable of detecting them. And now, with this latest discovery, his predictions may be closer to reality than ever before. Why Cox thinks parallel universes are inevitable. Brian Cox has been one of the most vocal proponents of the idea that quantum mechanics could reveal the existence of alternate realities. His work has explored the deep connections between quantum physics and the nature of reality, often challenging the way we understand existence itself. Cox has long speculated that if alternate realities are real, we might one day detect them through quantum interactions. His reasoning is simple yet profound. If quantum mechanics is correct, then parallel universes aren't just possible, they may be necessary. This idea is rooted in the many worlds interpretation, which suggests that every quantum event causes the universe to split, forming new realities where different outcomes play out. We don't experience these alternate worlds directly because our consciousness follows only one of the infinite branches of the multiverse. But Cox and other physicists have proposed that quantum computers, machines designed specifically to harness the strange properties of quantum mechanics, could eventually uncover the first clues that these hidden layers of reality are real. And now, that moment may have finally arrived. Quantum entanglement and the multiverse. One of the biggest reasons why Cox believes quantum computers hold the key to discovering parallel universes is the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, where two particles remain instantaneously connected no matter how far apart they are. If particles can exist in multiple states at once, and if entangled particles can react instantaneously across vast distances, then what's stopping information from another universe from occasionally seeping into our own? The future of parallel universe. Research. Of course, Cox isn't the only scientist exploring this idea. For decades, physicists have debated whether the mathematics of quantum mechanics strongly hints at the existence of alternate realities. And now, with this latest quantum computing experiment, we may be closer than ever to finding out the truth. So what happens next? Right now, scientists are working to verify this anomaly, running new tests to determine whether this was a genuine interaction or just a fluke. But if further experiments confirm that quantum computers are interacting with realities beyond our own, then the universe as we know it just changed forever. What do you think? Did this experiment just uncover proof of parallel universes? Or is there another explanation for this strange anomaly? For decades, the idea of parallel universes has existed mostly in theory, an abstract concept supported by the strange mathematics of quantum mechanics. But now, something has changed. This time, we have data. A quantum anomaly has been recorded, something that defies explanation within known physics. If Brian Cox's predictions are correct, this could be the first real clue that parallel universes aren't just a possibility, they're a reality. And if this is only the beginning, what comes next could be even more shocking. Future quantum experiments may uncover more patterns, giving us the tools to determine whether alternate realities are actually leaking into our own. But here's the real question. If information can move between dimensions, could we one day control it? Could quantum computing evolve to the point where we're not just detecting parallel universes, but actually interacting with them? These ideas were once confined to science fiction, not anymore. Physicists at the forefront of quantum research are now actively considering these possibilities. And if this experiment is as significant as it seems, we may be closer than ever to proving that our universe is just one of many. Have we been shifting between universes all along? If parallel universes exist, Could we have already been slipping between them without realizing it? For years, the concept of alternate realities has remained pure speculation, fueled by the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. But this recent quantum computing anomaly has led some scientists to suspect that we may have accidentally stumbled upon the first tangible proof that parallel worlds exist, and that they might already be interacting with our own. If this anomaly is indeed a parallel universe shifter, it suggests that information isn't bound to a single reality. Instead, it may be subtly moving between dimensions in ways we've never imagined. And that brings us to something even stranger, something that has baffled people for years. Could this explain the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect is one of the most bizarre mysteries of modern consciousness. It happens when large groups of people misremember details about history, famous quotes, logos, even major events. Some theorists have suggested that these memory discrepancies could be caused by shifts between alternate realities, where small differences exist in each version of the universe. But if quantum systems can be influenced by other dimensions, is it possible that human perception could be affected too? Could our minds, in rare moments, be picking up on small quantum shifts between parallel worlds? While mainstream scientists remain skeptical, they acknowledge that quantum mechanics already allows for phenomena that seem impossible under classical physics. And if this quantum experiment truly recorded something beyond our reality, then parallel universes may not just be theoretical, they may be a fundamental part of existence itself. Is reality more fluid than we think? Some physicists are now proposing a radical idea. If quantum systems can be influenced by alternate dimensions, then the fabric of reality itself may be far more fluid than we ever thought. But the biggest question remains: if these interactions are already happening, could we one day control them? Right now, quantum mechanics is still in its early stages. Even though quantum computers have made unbelievable progress, they aren't yet powerful enough to deliberately manipulate reality itself. However, if anomalies like this one can be replicated and studied, we might be on the verge of a new era of physics, one that doesn't just detect parallel universes, but begins to understand how they interact with our own. Are we on the brink of discovering the multiverse? The next step is critical. Scientists need to determine whether this anomaly was a one-time glitch or if it follows a repeatable pattern. If quantum systems are regularly interacting with unknown forces beyond our dimension, then we may have just taken the first real step toward unlocking the secrets of the multiverse. But that also raises an even bigger, more mind-blowing question. What happens if we push quantum computing further? Could we be on the verge of a technological breakthrough that changes everything? Or are we tampering with forces we don't yet understand? Forces that could rewrite the very nature of reality itself. If quantum computers can detect an anomaly linked to parallel universes, the next question is even more staggering. Could we one day control this process? And if so, has someone already figured out how to do it? Right now, quantum mechanics allows for strange and unexplained phenomena like entanglement and superposition, but manipulating them at will remains beyond our grasp. However, some physicists believe that as quantum computing advances, we may develop the ability to engineer reality itself, altering how quantum states interact with alternate dimensions. Could quantum computers unlock parallel worlds? One possibility is that future quantum computers could be deliberately programmed to access or even influence parallel universes. If information is already leaking between dimensions, could we one day learn to redirect or harness this process, allowing us to interact with realities beyond our own? Such a breakthrough wouldn't just change how we see the universe, it would change everything. If we could access parallel worlds, it would raise profound questions about physics, time, and even consciousness itself. Would alternate versions of ourselves exist? Could we send and receive information from realities that play out different timelines? The implications of such a discovery would be unlike anything humanity has ever encountered. What happens next? For now, scientists are taking a cautious approach. They are analyzing the data, running further experiments, and trying to determine whether this anomaly is a repeatable phenomenon or just a one-time glitch. But if this is the real deal, then we may be standing at the edge of a new era in physics, one where the boundaries of time, space, and reality are no longer as fixed as we once believed. Whether it's shifting between dimensions, exploring parallel universes, or even altering the very fabric of existence, one thing is certain: quantum computing has just opened the door to something far greater than we ever imagined. And we're only beginning to understand the true power of the quantum realm.